Welcome to the Deep Dive, and thanks for sharing the sources that brought us here today. We are completely ignoring all the constant noise around blockbuster trades,
Yeah, all the big names.
all the big names. And instead, we're focusing on a move that happened far, far quieter. A simple, almost hidden G League transaction.
Well, and this is such a tremendous study in organizational strategy. I mean, on the surface, it's just a footnote, right?
Right.
A minor league trade on a Saturday evening. But when a championship-level organization like the Golden State Warriors makes a calculated move for a specific 6'10" former NBA center, you really have to look closer. We have to figure out, is this a desperate last-minute scramble to patch up a very visible weakness? Or is this that kind of quiet brilliance we've sort of learned to expect from their front office?
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our mission is clear. We need to fully understand exactly who Charles Bassey is, why the Santa Cruz Warriors went and got him, and what the strategic implications of this extremely low-key investment are for Golden State's championship window.
Especially with the trade deadline just looming.
Exactly. This isn't about headlines. It's
Yeah.
about the fine print.
Yeah.
So let's start with the hard facts. The core event happened when the Santa Cruz Warriors executed a trade to acquire the 25-year-old center, Charles Bassey.
Right. Nigerian-born 53rd pick in the 2021 draft. But here's the detail that really matters.
This is the key, isn't it?
It is. He's not your typical G League prospect because he has already logged 113 games of professional basketball experience at the highest level, the NBA. He's been tested in the fire.
Okay, so let's look at the actual calculus here. The cost versus the potential return. What did they give up?
So to bring in Bassey and also a future 2026 G League second-round pick, Santa Cruz had to surrender the returning player rights to a forward, Jackson Rowe, and more importantly, G League first-round picks in 2026 and 2027.
Okay, so we're definitely talking about minor league assets here. G League draft capital, not, a future NBA first rounder that could get you a superstar.
Exactly. The organizational debt is minimal.
But I have to push back on that a little bit. The whole low-risk narrative. Isn't trading away two future G League firsts a little dangerous for a team that relies so heavily on its developmental pipeline? I mean, aren't you potentially sacrificing future homegrown depth for an immediate but still unproven solution?
That's a really sharp point, and I think it's where the championship mentality comes in. The value of a G League pick is it's relative to your timeline,
For sure.
For a rebuilding team like, say, San Antonio, those future picks are gold. But for the Warriors, who are trying to win a title right now with Steph Curry,
Right now.
the value of those theoretical future assets is basically nothing compared to the value of a guy with 113 games of NBA experience walking in the door today.
So they're trading theory for reality?
Exactly. They invested intelligently, prioritizing the now.
And that priority is, it's all because of the situation in Golden State right now. The sources are screaming that their frontcourt rotation has been stretched incredibly thin.
Oh.
You've got Kevin Looney, the steady vet, and you have Trace Jackson-Davis, who is showing these real flashes of rookie brilliance. But there is a clear, glaring gap there.
And that gap is what the sources call legitimate battle-tested depth. Someone who can, absorb contact, protect the rim, and just give you productive minutes without fouling out when the intensity ramps up.
Which it will, against the Nuggets or the Lakers.
It absolutely will. And what I find really telling is the related move. They waived a forward, Riley Grigsby, who was an undrafted rookie.
Okay.
That tells you this wasn't just general roster maintenance. This was a targeted move to address a very high priority need for size, for length, and for NBA-level maturity in that front court.
So let's peel back the curtain. Who actually is Charles Bassey? The sources don't just give us his stat line. They paint this picture of persistence, of a player who had to earn every single minute he's ever gotten.
His career is really an MBA in fundamental basketball.
Yeah.
He started with the 76ers after he was drafted, only played 23 games as a rookie.
Small numbers, 3 points, about 2-3 rebounds.
Tiny numbers, but he showed promise. Then he got waived, which is often a death knell for a late second rounder. But the Spurs, a franchise known for its patience and development,
Under Popovich, yeah.
they saw enough to offer him a two-way contract.
And for anyone listening who might not follow the nitty-gritty, what does a two-way contract actually mean?
It means he was basically splitting his time between the NBA and the G League. It limits your time with the main team to about 50 days of service. It's a temporary spot, it's super competitive, and it forces a player to constantly prove they belong.
And he did.
He did. He spent 3 seasons in San Antonio, played in 90 games total, and just steadily got better.
Yeah.
He finished his last year there averaging about 4.4 points, 4.2 boards, and nearly a block per game. He used that environment to get better.
Now, this is where the Warriors scouting department would be looking beyond just those box scores, right?
Yeah.
Passy isn't your traditional plodding back to the basket kind of guy.
Not at all.
So what specific advanced traits would a team built around switching defenses really value?
Okay, the key is his agility and the nuance in his skills for a guy his size. Golden State runs a super complex defensive system. It's all based on switching screens, defending aggressively on the perimeter. For a 6'10" center to even survive there, he has to have legitimate footwork and the instincts to not get, totally lost against smaller, faster guards.
Yep.
That's what Bassey offers. His mobility is perfect for their switching schemes because he can actually hold his own on the perimeter for a few possessions.
Something their other bigs really struggle with.
They really do.
Okay, that brings us to his raw physical potential. Let's quantify his tools, because that's what scouting reports are all about.
I mean, he has the kind of dimensions that just immediately catch your eye. He's 6'10", he's got this enormous 7'3" wingspan, and he's a solid 230 pounds.
Wow.
But let's look at the rim protection stats, because this is where that size really translates. His 0.8 blocks per game seems, kind of modest, like we said. But he did that in only 12.7 minutes of court time.
Okay, so let's do the math for everyone listening then. If we extrapolate those numbers, what does that block rate actually suggest he could do?
Well, if you project that rate over a full 36-minute game, which is the analytical standard for measuring per minute impact, you are suddenly looking at a player who could potentially average 2.3 blocks a game.
That's elite territory.
That is firmly elite rim protection territory. To put that in context, that number would immediately put him up there with the league leaders. And that's exactly what the Warriors need against these huge Western Conference teams.
And he's not just a defense-only guy.
Right.
Offensively, he's kind of intriguing.
He is. He's shown he has perimeter mobility, which suggests he could maybe be a pick and roll or even a pick and pop threat in their motion offense. Keep the spacing open for Curry. Plus, he's got refined post footwork, drop steps, jump hooks, turnaround jumpers. He's a raw stone, yeah, but several facets are already cut.
And what about coachability? That's huge for Steve Kerr.
The refinement is key. His field goal percentage with the Spurs actually improved from 55.6% to 58.9% in his last season. That upward trend is so crucial because it shows he can be coached, that he can make adjustments to maximize his efficiency in a complex system.
And Kerr's system demands that.
It demands immediate efficiency and, the willingness to sacrifice your